foundation for this important reform and allow the legislative process to continue strengthening its implementation. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, history will judge the Parliament not only by the debates we held, but by the courageous decision we made when our nation required bold leadership. A time such as today, today's vote, Mr. Speaker, presents us with an opportunity to place Nigeria's national interests above every other consideration and advance a reform that has the potential to significantly strengthen our security architecture, deepen our federal system, and better still, protect the lives and property of our citizens. I believe that there is nobody that is seated here today, Mr. Speaker, who is against state police, because it concerns you, it concerns your safety, it concerns the safety of those you are representing. I therefore urge every honorable member, I plead with every member in this house, I beg every member in this house to vote in favor of this bill and join in making history by supporting the successful passage of the Constitutional Alteration Bill and the establishment of state police. The same way you did when it first came to this house. I urge you and I so move.
Thank you.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Committee on Constitution Amendment for a very eloquent and elaborate synopsis of this very important bill. Before I yield the floor to anybody, I would want to inform members that based on the motion we earlier passed allowing electronic voting or electronic participation in this exercise, people physically present in this chamber who signed our register, from the APC we have 211, other parties 65, and those who joined us virtually through our 10th Assembly platform. We have a total number of 35 people, and these are verifiable. 35 people verifiable. Take your platform, check one after the other. You see names of those who have indicated their direction, for or against. The ones that have indicated interest that they are supporting this bill are 35 in numbers. And for records, so that posterity will judge us right, I intend to read the names here so that it will be captured in our votes and proceedings. People will have basis even after this. They can go back to their offices or homes, check the 10th Assembly platform, and compare with the votes and proceedings to see if there is any one that has been added fraudulently. So, with your kind permission, I will read the names of all those who actually indicated their interest in support of the bill. In support of the bill. We have only one who is against. All the others are in support. These are their names. We have Honorable Dolapo Badru. We have Honorable Adebeson Joseph Olorosho. We have Honorable Eri Take Ibori Suenu. We have Honorable Fayinka Moses Olatuin. We have Honorable Mohammed Ahmed Sane Bakura. We have Honorable Chinedu Imeka Martins. We have Honorable Afolabi Moruf. We have Honorable Joseph Bassey. We have Honorable Kola Wale Davison Akilayo. We have Honorable Martins Essen. We have Honorable Ifilulwa Babajide Ihindero. We have Honorable Fuad Kaede Laguda. We have Honorable Base Akiba. We have Honorable Harrison Anzi Nwadike. We have Honorable Victor Nwokolo. We have Honorable Daniel Amos. We have Honorable Philip Abese. We have Honorable Kayo De Akiolu. We have Honorable Sani Lawal. We have Honorable Wale Ahmed. We have Honorable Francis Waive. We have Honorable Abiola Peter Makinde. We have Honorable Boniface Emerengwa. We have Honorable Adebeson Joseph. We have Honorable Toy Fainka. We have Honorable Adedayo Samuel. We have Honorable Moshood Olariwanju. We have Honorable Kalejaye Adeboye Paul. We have Honorable Sani Igidi. We have Honorable Ize Nwachuku. We have Honorable Akim Oyede Owasiu. We have Honorable Cyril Hart. We have Honorable Evan David. We have Honorable Clement Jimbo. We have Honorable Adamu Suleja. If you add the total names, we have 35 names in support. And if you add the total members who have signed our register, totaling 276, plus the 35 members that have shown their direction on the platform of the House, we have a total of 311 members. 311 members. What we require for this exercise, honorable colleagues, is 2/3. And 2/3 translates to 240. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, observation. Double voting. Somebody voted twice.
We go straight to the matter of the day.
The
joint report to be considered is the report of the Committee on Constitution Review on a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, to provide for the establishment of state police services and for related matters, HB 2797. This report is comprised of 26 clauses, explanatory memorandum, and long title of the bill. I will take them clause by clause and will vote on each clause. So I will start by clause 1.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Clause
Mr.
1.
Chairman. Mr. Chairman, point of order. Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Point of order, we are live television. We are live television. Ourselves.
Those in support say aye.
Aye.
Those against you say nay. That is happy. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you all. The leader of the House, please, can you move for us to revert back to plenary?
I rise to move that the House revert to plenary for reports on proceedings. I so move.
The House in Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on National Security and Intelligence on a bill for an act to establish the Department of State Services, Research and Development Bureau, to conduct and coordinate robust research and development in the Department of State Services and related matters. And in the process, approved clauses 1 to 29, the schedule, the explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill. Bring them.
Don't tell me it was done. It was not done.
It was done.
If we want to use our register, not to be reading on.
The House in the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Human Rights on a bill for an act to repeal the National Human Rights Commission Act, Cap N46, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to enact the National Human Rights Commission Act 2026, to strengthen the powers of the Commission to conduct investigations and sustain contributions to the Human Rights Fund for human rights activities in the country, in line with the Paris Principles, to establish the national preventive mechanism and to protect human rights defenders and for related matters. Honorable colleagues, the House and Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Constitutional Review on a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, to provide for the establishment of state police services and for related matters. And in so doing, approved clauses 1 to 26, the explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill. The Leader of the House, can you move for the House to adopt these reports?
I rise to move that the House to adopt the reports from the Committee of the Whole as working instruments of this House. I so move.
I rise to second that the House do adopt.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the House, can you move for the House to adopt, to approve the votes and proceedings of today's sitting, please?
I rise to move that the House do adopt the votes and proceedings of today's plenary as for the records of this House. I so move.
I rise to second the motion as moved by the Leader of the House. I so second.
Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Those were quite intense debates and sessions in the House of Representatives that led to the passage of the bill seeking the establishment of state police services. Now, that is not to say it is the final journey of that bill, as we expect that the bill will move onwards to the state houses of assembly, where about two-thirds, at least two-thirds,
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
In a land of peace and harmony, we cherish our freedom and unity. But around the world, we've seen how protests can spiral into chaos. What starts as a peaceful protest can sometimes end in anarchy, tearing communities apart.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days.
So those who experienced it will run away from it.
Let's learn from these experiences. Let's value dialogue over destruction. Together, we can build a brighter future. Let's choose unity. Let's choose peace. Join us in the Peaceful Future Initiative, because together we can make a difference.
A British-American poet, Winston Hugh Oden, describes water as the soul of the earth. This points to the fact that water is essential for all forms of life, be it human, animal, or plant. However, when it is not properly managed, water can be destructive and lead to dire consequences. Water utilization and dam efficiency is the focus on this episode of Frontiers. In a short while, you will get to know how this very important natural resource can be effectively utilized. I am Frama Pani, and I warmly welcome you to the program. Our guest is Engineer Daisy Alabi, a dam expert. It's a pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
We will take an excerpt to set the tone for the day's discuss.
Water is the most critical natural resource to human beings and the earth. Without water, life would not exist on earth, as it makes up a large percentage of the human body and is essential for many processes including digestion and circulation. Effective management of hydro infrastructure is crucial for ensuring sustainable water utilization and optimal dam efficiency. Dams play a vital role in storing water for various purposes, including irrigation, drinking water supply, and hydroelectric power generation. However, inefficient management of these structures can lead to significant water losses, reduced power generation, and increased environmental impacts. Optimizing water use involves the implementation of effective irrigation systems, promoting water-saving technologies, and encouraging responsible water consumption practices. Effective hydro infrastructure management is crucial for achieving sustainable water utilization and optimal dam efficiency.
Once more, you're welcome on Frontiers.
Thank you.
Right. Now, water is a very important resource. How can communities be better involved in water conservation efforts?
Thank you very much. Water is life. That's what we all know.
Okay.
And it's very important that the communities who are usually the end users or the end beneficiaries are properly carried along when it comes to water utilization. The reason is very simple. Even though we have, as it were, abundance of water around us in Nigeria, we are blessed to have that, but we still have what we call economic poverty of water. Okay. That is, the water is available, and at the same time, it's not available. It's available in its raw form, but it's not available in its usage form.
Okay.
So it's very important that the little we have that we can use is properly managed. We still have a very high percentage of our usable water not being properly harnessed and not being properly utilized, which is a major challenge for those of us in the water sector. Okay. So the issue is not just the availability of it, it's also the proper utilization of the little that is available.
Now, what water conservation measures are appropriate, to reduce waste and optimize usage in Nigeria?
Presently, because the involvement of government and agencies in water availability is still very low. Therefore, there has not been a concerted effort in the issue of water utilization and management. What I mean by that is we still have a larger percentage of the population providing water for themselves. Therefore, they generate it, they treat it, and they use it. So how that chain is being done is not under any control, as it were. The one that can be easily controlled by government is the one we have from the water board and all that, which is very small in the percentage of coverage. So what we need to do majorly is the issue of awareness, what we call education as touching water usage. For instance, there are a lot of things that people use water for that could be done in a way that you can recycle. For instance, you want to wash your car in the morning, for instance, and you see everybody in an estate or in a compound coming out at the same time to do washing of car. Now, what people do these days because of the knowledge of this issue of water conservation is that except it's at the peak of rainy season where we are subject to mud and all that, you don't need to do thorough washing every day. If you wash once, the following day you can just clean. That's one area that we have a lot of water that is being wasted. Number two, the area we have water being wasted is that we also have a situation where even the local areas where we don't even have access to tap water and all that, you will notice that when it comes to water errand, it is always given to children. And these are people who are not concerned about whether it is available or not. So somebody goes to fetch water with a bucket, half of the bucket is what we get back home. Half of the bucket is already gone on the road playing and doing whatever they are doing. So these are the areas where we are advocating for education, because it cannot be regulated in the sense that government is not directly involved in producing most of the available water. So it has to be done through education.
Okay. Now, what is the place of government policy in ensuring sustainable water utilization?
It's much. And I will digress a little bit when I say it's much. It's much in the sense that in this part of the world, our government seems to control nearly every form of our infrastructure. As of today, except for in the northern part of Nigeria, we call them Merua, who hawks water in kegs and all that. As of today, there is no established private water distributors. If you want to get water, for instance, all these tankers that goes around, you still have to go back to water board. So largely, government is still the one controlling that. And it will interest you to know that as of today, there is no policy that speaks to the issue of boreholes, how much of borehole you can sink, the frequency of it and all that. There is none. So if we are going to get this issue of water utilization right, government has to step up and get more involved. And the way they can do that is have a situation where the water facilities are being managed and controlled by government establishments. As long as the people are the one providing water for themselves, there is very little to which you can tell them on how to do it and how to use it. If I'm the one who sink my borehole, if I'm the one who pump my water, there's very little that you can do about that one. But if water comes to my house, the way electricity comes, and it's being charged and it's being monitored, then you are in a position where you can regulate and say, okay, this is how it should be done. So that's one aspect. The involvement as in making it available is very, very important. Number two, there's also need for us to up this idea where people still see water provision as a free service, as a social service. That's the way I can put it. Largely, the populace still expect government to provide water for them, and it should be, in quote, free or being done at a cost that is next to nothing. And that is the reason why it is not sustainable. Because at the end of the day, if you go to many of our water corporations and water board, you will realize that they do not even generate enough resources to run the facilities. The facilities are there, but the running of it, the operation of it has become moribund because there is no resources to do it. So I think there is a need for government also in terms of awareness that water provision can no longer be done as social services. It has to be done in a way that people have to pay for it, and that brings the control that we're talking about. Because I can tell you as it is now, it's more expensive to use these local hawkers, the Miruas, than to get water from water board. A jerry can of 20 liters now is around 500, 600. Meanwhile, 1 cubic meter from water board is less than 3,000. Now, 1 cubic meter is, that jerry can is about times 20 or 50 of it, yes, 20 liters, because 1 cubic meter is 1,000 liters. So you are paying almost 500 for one. If you are going to get 1,000 cubic, that means you are going to spend about 25,000. If water board is giving you water, a cubic meter as of the last time that I checked was around 3,000 naira. So it's less than 10% of what you are going to spend getting water outside. So it's cheaper, and therefore it's easier to control if we have government coming in to control and to manage this issue of water provision.
Right. Engineer, tell us, what are national or international water management policies and guidelines in dam operations?
That's another area that is very, very crucial to our water supply system because, like I said, Nigeria is blessed with abundance of water resources. As of today, The estimation is that we have about 215 billion cubic meter of surface water. And all our water demand as of today in Nigeria is less than 10 billion. So that means we have more than enough. But largely, most of these water resources are controlled by dams. And that's where the issue of dam, the policies as touching how dams are done is very important. As of today, we have what we call the National Water Policy, which was done in 2013, which speaks to the issue of the construction, the maintenance, the management of dams in the country. We also have what we're working on presently, which is also a code of practice for dam sector. That try to specify what are the things that must be in place before you can either build or operate dams. So that one is already ongoing. I think it has been registered with ISO, that's a SON, Standard Organization of Nigeria, and is coming online as a policy that guides the operations and the maintenance of dam in the country. And then I'm aware also that Nigeria belongs to what we call ICO, that's International Council on Large Dams, which also have policies on the issue of dam management. So we also have within us what we call NICOD, that's Nigeria Council on Large Dams. Okay. So we have both nationally, and we're also part of international bodies that try to regulate the management of dams.
Engineer, let's pause here and take a short break. This is Frontiers, and we're taking a look at water utilization and dam efficiency. The conversation continues in a moment. Welcome back.
Thank you.
What is the typical operating procedure for dams during different flow regimes, most especially during peak rainfall periods?
Well, one of the fundamental functions, the primary function of dams is to control flood. Basically, dams are structures you build across a river to regulate the flow of that river, and in that process, you impound water. So the impounded water is what we refer to as reservoir, which you can now use for whatever you want to use, water supply, irrigation, hydro, and whatever. But the primary function is to control flood. And so the way that is being done is through what we call proper reservoir operations. The idea behind reservoir operation is that during dry season, it is expected that you utilize the water within the dam, within the reservoir, so as to reduce what we call the head, that is the amount of water inside your reservoir, so that by the time rain comes, you have enough space to store more water, so that you reduce what goes out as excess flood at the peak of rainy season. That is what it's supposed to be. But the challenge is most of our dams are not properly operated. Okay. Instead of now acting as a measure to control flood, in many cases, they are becoming a major flood problem.
Wow.
What I mean by that is, assume a situation where you have a bucket that is 20 liters. That's the capacity of the bucket. And then you are expecting somebody to bring in a 35-liter supply. And then you've not used your 20-liter, let's say, water or oil. You've just taken maybe 5 liters out of it. And then somebody wants to pour in 35 liters. So you will see that the majority of that thing, we have to go out. And that's what we have. That's what we have on our hands most of the time. Because there is no proper operation of these reservoirs. Some of the dams, by as early as July, they've started spilling. Spilling means that the excess water that is coming in is going out. As early as July, they started spilling. What we're trying to do now in the dam circle is emphasis on these operations. We have dams all over the country. It's the federal government that builds most of the dam. They're supposed to be operated, many of them, supposed to be operated by state government for water treatment and all that. But we have most of these dams being built and the operation is not going on as it should. So instead of controlling the flood on these rivers, they are giving us more concern. Because dams are built with facilities to ensure that Some of them, we call them controlled spillway. That is, you can determine how much of water you let out. But by the time your dam is already getting full, you don't want an accident, because once the water starts going over your dam, which we call overtopping, then you are going to have a crisis. So we have to open the gates and let the water go, which is what now affects most of the flooding situations we have downstream.
Disasters cannot be avoided. What is the plan or action to take in case of a dam failure or other critical incidents? For example, what you just explained.
Yeah, there is part of the safety management for a dam is what we call emergency preparedness plan. Every large dam, every major dam has that provision. That is, it's a document that seeks to highlight the things that are to be done both to prevent, and like you rightly put it, sometimes nature is funny. So you might not be able to prevent, but to mitigate and to reduce the impact of disaster when it happens. The best of dams can fail. That's what has been established. And sometimes it's not due to the failure of either design or construction, it's just nature. Because you have to understand that dams are built using what we call historical data, what has happened before. But with the way nature is now, with the climate change, those things are changing. So you can have freak situation that was never envisaged at the point of design happening. So what do we do? So there is emergency preparedness plan that spells out how to reduce or mitigate, and then the actions to be taken if it happens. And majorly, let me just run through that. Number one, we have what we call the conditions for emergencies. And that's why the issue of the operations and management of the dams are very important. That is, there are things you see on your dam that signals that tragedy or disaster or emergency is coming. So I can't go into details of all that. Is it the flow that is coming in? Your spillway is being overpowered. Your gate is not opening. There are things you see on site that tells you that emergency is imminent. And once that happens, there is a protocol of escalation. That if we notice this is the person we call. For instance, let's take a typical Gurara Dam, for instance, which is what gives us water in Abuja. So if the management of Gurara Dam or the manager notice some things, he has a direct line to the Federal Ministry of Water Resources, the dam department, because federal government is the owner of that dam. This is what we notice on site. And then he has a direct line to FEMA. He has a direct line to Nigerian police, to fire service. So these are the first responders to emergencies. Now, those lines is to alert them. We don't have the situation yet, but the situation is developing here that might lead to what we might have to do something about. Number two, we have what we call early warning signs, which is primarily for the people staying downstream. Now, when we say downstream, we mean people who are on the other side of a dam, that if anything should happen to that dam, they can be affected. So there's early warning system that you alert the people. Whether it will happen or not, that's not what is important. As it is now, we have a situation in hand, look for a higher ground to stay. And when we're doing that emergency preparedness plan, that's what we call the inundation map, that have already told us the boundaries that are likely to be affected if this dam should fail, or if there should be an emergency on this dam. So those are the people we refer to as population at risk. Those are the people that warning is given to. We already know that boundary. That, okay, you fall within the floodplain. So please evacuate. Please look for a friend or a family to stay with for now until we are sure something is taken care of or it's not going to happen. Now, sometimes because of I told you it's nature. Sometimes it happens in the middle of the night. In fact, most times as if it waits for middle of the night to happen. So that's why that issue of early warning system is very important. Apart from that, on the side of the operators to mitigate it, there are other features that have been put. Every dam has what we call safety protocols to ensure that if it now fails, is that every other thing has been done. So they open the bottom outlet, that is this provision to let more water goes out. If that is not cutting it, they bring in equipment and start to, by ourselves, break and reduce the embankment. Now, it is called controlled failure. That is, if you control the failure, is better than when the failure happen on its own.
That's right.
So we do what we call control failure, which is to reduce the impact and the magnitude of the failure that can happen. But largely for people, it is that early warning and the fact that the managers on those dams can quickly identify that a situation is developing and then escalate the protocol to get people out of the way.
Now, tell us quickly, how can developing countries balance the need for dams with environmental sustainability?
That's a major ongoing challenge that we have now. For instance, most of international donor intervention, they don't want to hear us mention dam because of the environmental impact. But like I said, you have to weigh the two. Of course, there's no argument against that it's going to unsettle the environment. It's going to cause some environmental issues, like I've mentioned. But when you look at the other side, the benefit of it, for instance, if you are talking of electricity, hydro still remains, number one, the cheapest, the safest, both in terms of construction and maintenance. If you have, that's why Nigeria largely now is Kanji Dam, Shiroro Dam, Jeba Dam, that are still coming to our aid. When you have a thermal plant, for instance, because it's by heat energy, the rate of maintenance is very high. And of course, in this part of the world, we cannot even be talking about nuclear energy system. We've not even been able to manage water well, talk less of nuclear. That's going to be... So it still remains our best option when it comes to power generation. And we know that developing nations need power to develop.
Yeah.
There are no alternatives to that. People are advocating for solar and all that. Fine, I love solar energy. But when it gets to the real issue of power, industry, and all that, you cannot sustain that just by solar. Solar is okay to give you power, light in your house, to power your TV and all that. Those are all use solar. You know that at some point, when we get to this season now, when we have rainy season, there's a drop in the solar energy.
Yeah.
And then your fridge is suffering, your AC, you can't use it. You still fall back to our friend that we call NEPA.
Yes.
So hydro remains one of the cleanest, the safest, the cheapest to generate power. And developing nation needs power to develop. Right. So we have to keep balancing the two constantly. Agriculture, that's food security.
Yes.
Of course, we know. The areas, for us in Nigeria, the areas that are fertile, that produce most of our food, they don't enjoy long rainy season. That's in the north.
Okay.
4 months, 5 months of rain. So if we are going to keep producing food, then we have to have irrigated agriculture. And for us to have that, we're going to need dams.
Right.
So we have to choose between keeping our environment as it is and going hungry.
Engineer Daisy, it's been interesting talking to you, and thank you so much for coming on the program. Thank you for educating us. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on Frontiers.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
All right. The focus on this episode of Frontiers has been water utilization and dam efficiency, and our guest has been a dam expert, Engineer Daisy Alabi. Thanks for your time, and bye for now.
Welcome to the vibrant world of the Namibian traditional fashion, where the spirit of heritage and craftsmanship intertwines with the elegance of the Onderleller fabric. Join us as we embark on a journey through the cultural tapestry of Namibia, exploring the significance of the Onderleller fabric and its influence on contemporary fashion. Namibian traditional fashion is a mosaic of diversity, reflecting the rich tapestry of cultures and traditions across the country. From the bold patterns of the Uwambo to the intricate designs of the Nama, each ethnic group contributes to the vibrant landscape of the Namibian fashion with their unique styles and expression. At the heart of Namibian traditional fashion lies the Onderleller fabric, a symbol of cultural identity and pride. Woven with care by Uwambo artisans, the Onderleller fabric is renowned for its vivid colors, intricate patterns, and soft texture. Made from locally sourced materials and dyed with natural pigments, the Onderleller fabric embodies the essence of the Namibian heritage. Accessories play a vital role in enhancing the traditional Namibian look. Beaded jewelries, head wraps, and waist beads are commonly paired with the Onderleller fabric attire, adding a touch of sophistication and cultural authenticity to the ensemble. Handcrafted leather sandals and bags also complement the traditional look, showcasing the skilled craftsmanship of Namibian artisans. The art of making Onderleller fabric is a labor of love and skill. It begins with the careful selection of the cotton yarn and natural dyes, which are then spun and woven and dyed to create the fabric. Traditional weaving techniques and dyeing methods are employed to achieve the intricate patterns and vibrant colors that define the Onderleller fabric, a testament to the time-honored traditions of the Uwambo people. Despite its deep roots in tradition, Namibian fashion continues to evolve and inspire contemporary trends. The timeless elegance of the Onderleller fabric has captivated the global fashion scene. From haute couture runway to street style, as Namibian designers draw inspiration from their cultural heritage, the Onderleller fabric continues to make its mark on the world stage, bridging the gap between tradition and modernity. In conclusion, the Namibian traditional fashion and the Onderleller fabric are more than just clothing. They are a celebration of culture, identity, and craftsmanship. As we honor the rich heritage of the Namibia, let us continue to embrace the beauty and diversity of traditional fashion, ensuring that the legacy of the Onderleller fabric lives on for generations to come.
Hello and welcome to Diplomatic Ties, your window into Nigeria's foreign policy, partnerships and place in the world. We focus on the European Union, Nigeria's largest trading partner and a key player in our democracy, security and development. Today we look at one of Nigeria's most important multilateral partnerships with the European Union. one of the European Union's agenda for Africa, and especially Nigeria and democracy, that is gearing up for another general election rituals in 2027, focuses on reinforcing electoral integrity, increasing citizen participation, and strengthening democratic institutions. These will primarily be driven through its flagship support to democratic governance in Nigeria, and that is the EU SDGN program. With the 2027 elections approaching, the issue of trade under AFCFTA, and with security challenges in the Sahel, the question is simple. What does the EU-Nigeria partnership look like in practice, not just on paper? These we are going to unravel after the break with our guests, His Excellency, Ambassador Gauthier Mignot. He is the head of the European Union delegation to Nigeria and to ECOWAS. And I am Comfort Fashion. Stay with us. Welcome back. The program is Diplomatic Ties, and my guest is His Excellency, Ambassador Gauthier Mignot. He's the head of the European Union delegation to Nigeria and to ECOWAS. And we are discussing the EU's priorities versus African realities. Your Excellency, you're welcome again to the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
Let us start with this. You are accredited to both Nigeria and ECOWAS. And in 2026, what are the EU's top 3 priorities for Nigeria?
Well, I would say that for Nigeria, it's about supporting peace, stability and good governance. It's about consolidating on trade and investment partnership, including in new technologies, digital in particular, and finally help Nigeria in the green transition and meeting the sustainable development goals with women and youth as cross-cutting priorities. I think that would encompass our 3 main priorities for Nigeria. And with ECOWAS, it's a bit the same as first priority. I would say also peace, stability and good governance at regional level are very key to us in Europe. Fostering regional integration and connectivity. Of course, we know in Europe regional integration can be